Greetings, YouTubers. How's it going out there in YouTube land? Just another day / night in paradise, right? That's what I thought. Well, right now we are going to be working on the '08 Ford Fusion. It has a code for a P0128. Operating temperature not achieved, basically. We have to replace the thermostat. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so what we got right now going on is we got the antifreeze. We're draining it, and you can see I've got the pail there, and there is a drain hole up in here. Probably not going to be able to see it, but it's right about there, and you can see how I got the tube hooked on the bottom of the radiator, so that's being taken care of. Now, you'll have to take your wheel off because Ford thought it would be cute to put that thermostat down here underneath the power steering unit. So we have to take part of this here off in order to even get to that. But first thing you got to do is take the wheel off, and I've got it off. And right here is your tensioner. You got to put a socket on that. We got to turn that tensioner in order to loosen this belt up. And when we do that, I've got a bungee cord up here. And this is a trick, and this is going to make you your life a lot easier. When we go to loosen this belt up, we're going to hook it right here and pull it off to the side, and that'll keep that belt from falling down in here, because if it falls down in there, you'll never get it out, and it makes it a lot easier this way. So that's what we're going to be doing next. So let's go ahead and get this tensioner loose. Okay, so on this side I've got a deep well in here, an extension, 15mm socket, and you can see what we have to put that on right there. And the whole idea is to put this on, and we have to turn it clockwise. And when we turn this clockwise downward like this will move that tensioner, and you can see it moving in there, and this will loosen the belt up on the top. What we're going to do next, I'm going to go ahead and set this up with my cell phone here. By the way, I'm shooting this video on my cell phone. We'll set this up, and you can kind of watch me slip this belt off and hook it onto this bungee cord. Now if you have two guys, or if you can get somebody to help you really quick, it would really make your life probably a little bit easier, but I think it can be done this way. I've done it in the past, so let me go ahead and try this. Okay, so here goes nothing. Go ahead and put this down as far as we can. And we'll grab this, slip this off like this. Okay, we got it loose. I'm going to loosen up the tension on the socket. And now we'll go ahead and hook this up on this. And voila. How you like that, baby? That belt did not slip off any of the other pulleys. And when we go to put this back on, all we have to do is slip it back on, because like I said, you don't want that belt to slip off, because it's really tight to get your hand in there, and it's really hard to get back on. Okay, moving right along. Next thing you want to do is go in and disconnect this little clip here. Now, you gotta be careful. Sometimes you gotta take a little screwdriver and push in on this right here, and this will release that, and this will pull this off of that little connector right there. And you notice there's a little hole there. Well, inside there's a little catch, so you gotta be careful when you pull these off. I've seen guys break these left and right. So we'll put this off to the side. Next thing you want to do is get you a pan, or put your cloth under your vehicle, because you're going to lose a little transmission fluid, not transmission fluid, power steering fluid. And mine is a little low. I don't have a turkey baster to suck any of this out, so I'm just going to let it kind of drip out. There's going to be a little bit here. We got to disconnect this line right here and put this off to the side. All right, got to get this off. This is an 18mm. Like I said, we'll probably lose a little fluid, but not too much. Or you can stick a cloth up under there. Actually, there's nothing coming out, so there's a little ring here. Don't lose that. Little brass bushing. Take this nut out and take that off the top, and we'll put this off to the side into a safe area. Okay, now the next thing we got to do, we got to take this clip here off. What I like to do is get a couple screwdrivers, small ones, and also make sure you have a magnet on standby, because these things sometimes like to go flying or falling down behind the engine. You won't be able to get it. We need to pry up on this a little bit. Try to get this tab up. Don't ask me why they did it this way, but it's kind of tedious to get it started, to get it off. But usually it comes off pretty easy, so we'll see if This makes a liar out of me today. Alright. Stupid clips. Alright, so this one here is not going up. Alright, so. Alright, so. Usually it comes off pretty easy, but not today. No. Alright, get another one back here. Yep, I ended up with 3 screwdrivers, I know. Alright, now we're ready to take it off. So what you gotta do, you kind of gotta bend that up a little bit. Put that there just to kind of catch it. And now I'll tap this off. Like I said, don't ask me why they did it this way, but they did. So there is that. So you got to have a little patience, just so you know. Okay, now the next thing we got to do is go ahead and get this off. When we pull this back, you're going to lose a little fluid. That's why I said you got to have a pan underneath there. And now we got to slide this forward. It should come off if I push it forward a little bit. There's a secondary clip on the bottom that catches it, and you got to kind of play around with it until it releases. Let's see if we can get there. I think we almost got it. There we go. I know. And there is the clip right here that it kind of sits down in. And also you got an O-ring right here. Don't lose that O-ring. That goes right here. So double check that. And now we'll just kind of go ahead and set this off to the side. And now the next thing we got to do, we got 4 bolts we have to take off. These are little 10 millimeters. There's one here, and 2 on the bottom. We'll get a little deep well and an extension, and we'll pop those off. And now you can see we are down to where the thermostat is, and it's right there where my finger is. We have to still take off a couple of hoses there. It's pretty easy to get to, and once we get these hoses off, then we'll pull these back out of the way, and we've got to kind of move this plug out of the way right there. There is a plug. It's kind of clip, a little clip right here. Just kind of pull it up out of the way, and then we can go ahead and take that thermostat housing off. It looks like it is probably 3 10mm bolts, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so maybe you can kind of see that there. The sun's at a weird angle, and I got the camera sitting up kind of high, so we'll go ahead and take this first clip off. And these clips can be a bear to get off. Slide that one back. Alright, that wasn't too bad. We're going to take this big one off. Okay, so we got both hoses off. There's one of them, and the other one is kind of laying right there off to the side. Now all we have to do is go ahead and pop off these 3 bolts that are holding that unit on. And of course there's a wire here kind of in my way, but see it right there? We got to get those 3 bolts off, and we'll take that housing out. And by the way, by the time I got this clamp here off, I squeezed this as tight as I could get it, and it still wouldn't come off. So this is the wrong size, but you might want to do yourself a favor. Just put something like this back on there, because there's really just not enough room to get in there and fight with these. So just so you know, if you've got to deal with these, make sure you get the right kind of tool to grip this. I usually use pliers, but sometimes people put the wrong ones on, and they're really difficult to get off, just so you know. Alright, so we're about ready to take this off here. So let me see if I can get my hands down here, and I've already loosened these up. These are actually small little bolts here. Let me show you real quick. They're tiny, and I'm using this little tiny ratchet set that I got here. These are actually 8mm. I don't know, there may not even be a thermostat in this thing. I've taken these apart in some vehicles, and actually one time I found a shop rag, I kid you not, in the thermostat housing. I've seen some weird stuff before. So there's our last bolt, and they're all the same length. And let's see if we can pop this off here and see what we got. A little more fluid, but no big deal. Alright, so there's a seal there. Try not to tear it, because you want to reuse it, because they want $8 for another seal. Yeah, $8. No, I think it was a little bit more than that. So there's our thermostat. Looks okay, but nevertheless, we got a new one to put in, and there's where it bolts onto. So we'll clean this one up and go ahead and put the new thermostat in it, and see if that brings the temperature up where it should be. It could be stuck open. So let's see. Can't really tell. Let me set the camera down. Okay, so here it is. What you have to do is actually pry this out. There's these little ears right here, nipples, and you can see here is the thermostat. Like I said, I didn't see anything wrong with it, but once I got the new one here, let me show you something. Apparently this one here was stuck open. There's the old one, and on the left is the new one. And let's see, I may have to take it out here and set it on something. Hang on. Okay, so there is the new one. Actually, that's the old one. There's the old one, and there is the new one. See the difference? This one here is stuck open. This one here is the new one. You can see the difference. So this old one here was stuck open. Apparently, I mean, yeah, it's apparently it's one. I mean, if you look at it, that's the only thing I can figure out, because you can see this spring here on this old one is crushed down like it's jammed. But this one here is all the way out. So anyway, we'll go ahead and replace this and see if our thermostat takes care of our temperature gauge and brings it up in the center where it should be under normal operating temperature. Okay, well, hold up. Let's hold that thought there for a moment. I don't want to miss anything here for you guys. I want to make sure I cover all the bases. It turns out this is the new one they just sold me. This is not the right one. This doesn't go in here. And I told the guy, 08 Ford Fusion. And I've never seen this before, so I couldn't match it up. Here's the one that was supposed to be in it. See those little holes? Well, that goes like this. The new one I got here, it doesn't have anything like that. Oh, so guess where we're going? Back to the parts store. Okay, folks, so after doing some research and going back to the parts store, I found out that some of these newer vehicles nowadays, you can't just buy the thermostat, you have to buy the entire housing. I thought it was a little funny because I couldn't find any actual thermostats that would fit in this housing, but this housing is perfectly okay. But I guess they want to sell it as a combo set, because I've seen a lot of Chryslers, especially the 3.0s. I believe it's a 3.0 engine, that these get so hot they melt. Especially I've seen this on the 4.0 Explorers. They have a real bad problem with this housing unit just melting, so maybe they have updated it. Here is the new one, and you can see the difference is it's actually got a little kind of a clip deal here that holds the thermostat in. It's a little different,
but it's basically the same design and everything, and you can see they look identical. So this is what I had to actually go get, and you can see how that is there. So all we have to do now is go ahead and put this on. This actually did come with another gasket. This was $25, I believe, with the whole unit, which is not too bad. Just the thermostat itself was $10, but they give me a credit. So if you run into this problem, if you can't get just the thermostat, you might want to check, because I think what they're doing now is making it all one piece and selling it to you, so you know. And other than that, we'll go ahead and stick this puppy back together. So at this point, the hard part is done. All I have to do is go ahead and drop this back down in there and start tightening everything up. I'm not going to show you how to put it all back together. Obviously, you know how to put it back together if you tore it apart. But other than that, after I get just about all of it here together, we'll come back here and kind of go over it. If I find any issues that you need to know about, I'll let you know. It's really nice to have O-ring kits. You can get these, are inexpensive. Probably got about $8 in all of those. And here is the new O-ring that I stuck in here. Double check yours and make sure it's not torn. If you look really closely here, you can probably see where mine is kind of torn there. I don't think you're going to be able to see it because the camera's not focusing. But anyway, there's the new one right here. You just kind of stuck in. And this one's in really good shape. So double check your O-rings if you're going to be pulling this off, this power steering pump. Alright, it's all back together, and as you saw earlier in the video, I just basically slipped that belt back on, got out of there and turned that belts back on, and I had a little trouble getting this unit back on. You have to kind of put it down and slide it in like this on that bottom clip. And there's the top clip, and I've got my magnet there. You want to kind of keep that magnet on it when you're pushing that clip on so you don't lose it. And other than that, I just gotta finish up putting some antifreeze in it, and we're done. Start it up and we'll see how it does. Okay, so you can see where the temperature gauge is. It's straight up and down just like it should be, and the heat is working absolutely amazing in here. It's really hot. I don't need this now. Cool it off. But so we are good. That took care of it. So if you have no heat in the winter and your gauge is not coming up and you have a P0128, I believe it was, check your thermostat down there. And we're all good. Wheels on. And I guess this video is a wrap, so hopefully this will help you out a little bit. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. And like I said, the only thing you have to have a little patience with is getting this reservoir back on. And also make sure your belt doesn't come clear off. But other than that, we are done. It looks like the code should stay off now, and we now have a engine that is going up to operating temperature just like it should. So thanks for watching, guys, and until my next video, see you later.